Righty-ho, it's time for us to talk to Nino. It's going to be Monday, the 2nd of August. We're into a brand new season. It's been a while since I've spoken to Nino, a combination of Nico being better and more importantly, me being sidelined with COVID. But it's good to be catching up with him. And it's the first time I've actually seen him since his Italians won Euro. So let me start with that, Nino. Well done. As you know, we all fancied them a bit. And unfortunately for the English, it didn't come home. It went to Rome.
Yeah, good evening, Nico. And nice to be doing, good evening, Neil. Nice to be doing the show with you again. Yeah, very happy that the Italians came through. And even though it wasn't a nice way to win, that's the way the rules go. So we'll take it anyway.
Yeah, as they say, the numbers in the frame. I wouldn't worry too much about that. And I'm very pleased the Italians lifted the trophy. Let me start by saying well done to you on Friday, because your 25-1 outsider of the day, Winter Vacation, won at 25-1 for those shrewdies that got that. So very well found on what was actually quite a tough card.
Yeah, it was a tough card. Unfortunately, I've just missed the jackpot with Momodasi, but I certainly hope that the people put some money on that, because that was the only horse that could have made them their money back.
Yeah, well,
it's
a little bit like us today at Turffontein. Actually, Nico and I kicking ourselves in the first leg of the bipod because we didn't like the one, and I don't know why we put it in. And I said that the winner of the race had the 9 beaten, and it was one of those faux pas. But we're the same. We caught the second jackpot. I think we spent 1,000 rand and got back 4,000. So it makes it all worthwhile. And a shout out to the Ghost Rider because he caught the Gold Cup quartet for a healthy profit.
Yeah, exactly. So it hasn't been a bad weekend for our people, has it?
Not at all for those that have done that. And I'm now going to just share here. I'm going to try and make this a little bigger. Can you see that on screen now? Has that got your selections up there?
Yeah.
Good.
That seems correct.
Okay,
Neil.
good. Because I don't know. I've got a new PC, so for some reason the picture isn't saving like it used to. But as long as you can see that, that means our viewers can see it as well. So let's get on to this Monday, 2nd of August card and straight into the first race. Where you like strongly number 1 Hot Marmalade to win the first. Your full selection 1, 3, 6, 2. Take us through the form.
Well, I like Hot Marmalade. I think Warren Kennedy and Gavin Smith are going to open up the meeting because on the run through a quick breeze in Cape Town, she ran 3 lengths in front of Host of Angel, which I make the only danger. So I think she'll maintain that form. She's exceptionally well drawn. Warren Kennedy up, and I think that's also people can start taking doubles with.
Yeah, and the 2 draw over the Fairview Poly is really beneficial as well, isn't it? I mean, she's going to be there for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. She's going to be there for nothing, and like I said, she should have the beating of Host of Angels. The only concern, obviously, Neil, is that it's the first time on the Poly. So all she's got to do, if she takes to the Poly, which I always believe we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you can't say horse can't run on the Poly until it's run on the Poly.
Yes.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah, she's certainly got a Poly pedigree. I mean, these Duke of Marmalades do go on the surface, so no problem.
Yeah, I'm also, sorry, Neil, I'm looking for improvement on number 6, the Cliffy Mellow horse. If you have a look at that horse, he's run some nice races on the Poly in Durban. And put a line on the penultimate run behind Star Choice on the turf, and then she was finishing strongly over the 1100 on the Poly, and that could be a nice horse for quartets and trifectas.
Okay, so 1, 3, 6, and 2, but you're happy to banker 1 in the first leg of the bipod, and it is one of your best bets on the card. Let's move on to race 2, where we've got Gavin Smith and Warren Kennedy again. This horse has been hitting the crossbar 3 times in a row, second, but he may score. I think this is the kind of company where he really should shed his maiden.
100%, Neil, and have a look at the field. It's to say it's a weak maiden is it's not an understatement. If it doesn't win tomorrow, then I don't know if it will ever win a maiden. It's run three good races on the poly. She's drawn one. She's got Warren Kennedy up. I do believe that the Warren Kennedy and the Smith combination should open the first two races. I think that could be the double for the stable.
Yeah, the danger, probably the stable companion, is pretty consistent. He's not going to Hollywood, but he'll probably run second. That's the 2. And then you've gone for the 8 to run to show some improvement. So in actual fact, you've gone for a Gavin Smith trifecta here, eh?
And a Gavin Smith quartet, I think. I think the 3, which I think this nicely brings.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
I think definitely Gavin Smith is going to win the race. I think it's going to be with the 1. But, you know, I think the stable holds all the aces in this race.
Okay, 1, 2, 8, 3. Looks like a benefit race for Gavin Smith, race 2. Bipod-wise, as you see, Nino's happy to go 1 by 1. Right, let's move on to the 3rd race. This is a maiden plate, this time for fillies. And here you've gone for Buttercup. And Buttercup is interesting because when she was in Joburg, I actually tipped her the one day when we had our weekend breakfast because I said she's got such a lovely pedigree. But she didn't really improve until she came down to Fairview, and she's met this class of field. And she should go 2 better here and win, being a daughter of Silvano. And you're quite confident that she'll run well. But you've gone 10, 3, and 2, or 10, 2, and 3 in the bipod.
Neil, yeah, you know, I saw this horse run last time, and she gave me the impression that she needed a bit more ground, which she gets tomorrow. She was absolutely flying at the finish over the 1400. I think this well-bred daughter of Silvano, she's going to appreciate the 200 meters, and I think she's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. I see the jockey was fine for the last run. I don't know why, what he did wrong, our friend Francois Herald. But she was lying way, way back in the field and absolutely took off with about 200 meters to go. And had that race been over 1600, I believe she would have won, and she would have won easily. The only danger, I think, could be Manera, the well-bred dynasty horse, with Richard Fourie up for the Joan Nel stable. I've added the 3 in the bipod only because I know last time, this horse found the 2002 for last time, and I think she'll run a better race over the 1600. So for me, 2, 3, and 10, and the only other horse that could probably upset the apple cart is number 1, Diamonds and Tails.
Okay, so there it is for Nino, 10, 2, 3, 1. Just coming back very briefly to number 10. I remember why I liked it. I liked it the last start it ran in Joburg on the 15th of May. And she was 50 to 1, and I thought she'd improve. And she improved a bit. She only ran 5th behind Freedom of Choice. But the reason I liked her, and again, in the cold light of day, if you have a look, is that she had run 5th to Under Your Spell, who I think came out and won the Alan Robertson. And she ran 7th behind Rain in Holland, who again franked the form, albeit under a brilliant ride from Lyle Hewitson on the weekend. But Rain in Holland, I think, has now won 5 or 6 on the trot. So I think she's got that form behind her. And I think you're right. I think she'll win tomorrow.
Well, Nico, I'm sorry, Neil, if you had listened to my preview when this horse first ran in P, that's the exact same reason why I made it a certainty when she first came to P, but she ran 3rd behind Zach Packer Assassin. She obviously needed that run, and she needed a bit more ground. But the runs behind, even Captain's Run, Under Your Spell, Rain in Holland, those are strong form lines, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in full agreement with you. Right, let's move on to race 4, shall we? This is a fairly lowly handicap. It's a 68 handicap. And in the bipod, Nino's gone 1, 5, and 6. We obviously sharing the same computer form because so far, everything Nino's said and tipped, I'm in full agreement with, including this one, number 1, Baltic Beat, who with Ramsden taking the 2.5 off from a 2 draw, I think it's going to be very competitive and probably going to be a nice price. So you've gone 1, 5, 6, and 4 here.
Neil, exactly. With the apprentice allowance, taking the 2.5 kilos off, she's got the beating of quite a few of these horses beyond La Bastille. There's quite a few that come from that form line, and she's even a few, like let's see, Falling for You, and I think Mary Lee beyond La Bastille, and a couple of, I think maybe another 1 or 2, but she's got the beating of quite a few horses beyond La Bastille. So I think she'll be competitive. But this is a very competitive race, Neil. You know, it's a race where people might have to go a bit wide there for the exotics. I do like also Omar Fidget. I think that will run a good race tomorrow. Back on the poly, he's got some very good form on the poly, and Richard Foree, well drawn at 6. I think that could be a runner. And a nice value bet, I think, back on the poly is Up Early. She loves the 1600. She ran behind Blinking last time out. You know, a very good horse now in PE, Blinking, and she can improve from that time.
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, so we both like that. I just want to get out of this for... actually, I won't do, because if I start tampering with this, it'll disappear off the screen. So maybe I'll just keep it like this. Yeah, I agree with you, though. Beyond that, I mean, there's a whole host of horses that could perform. Number 3, Falling for You, wasn't well drawn behind La Bastille. It has got Kennedy from a 3 draw. Fresh from the US isn't too bad. So, yeah, I mean, we like the same horses. I like the same horses as Nino. But if you want to shop around and go deeper, is probably a race that you could do that, because it's very open. Race 5 is a classified stakes race. Now we step up to 2,200 meters. Thought this was an interesting race. Take us through your selection. Your first choice is 9 Crystal Stream. And again, I hate to say it, but I'm in agreement with you, because it's Jean Nel and Richard Foree, and it's a classified stakes race. So she's a mare, so she's well in. She's good on the poly. The only negative, and I'm sure you found the same thing, the only negative is the draw of 14.
Yeah, it is a bit of a negative there, but it is a long race, and with Richard Foree, he's got to get in a striking position coming around the turn. You know, it's only a 400-meter straight on the poly, so you can't be too far back. But I'm sure that you'll have plenty of time to overcome that draw. But in saying that, she did run behind the Becker last time. I don't know how many kilos she's better off with her. So if you can just check there, Neil.
What's that? Which one? Crystal Street
Number
behind?
2, Becker.
Yes, I did the handicapping on that. I'll tell you exactly where that is, because that was what date was that? That was the 4th of June, right?
Yeah, I think it.
So, yeah, they actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong race. Now, the 4th of June, actually, they're the same. The 4th of June, actually, Take the World comes into the race with a bit of a chance, which is the 4 Take the World. But that horse is drawn 13, and I'm afraid consistency is not his strong suit. So I just thought, particularly with her being a fillies and mares, she's the first choice. What did you go? You went 1, 3, and 2 for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, eh?
Yeah, Super Noir, I think, can run a better race. That also Take the World. He's been most disappointing. I've also had a high on it after it won the 2 races, and then, you know, he's just disappointed me. So, but I mean, again, another very competitive race, Neil, and people are going to have to put quite a few here in the Pick Sixes.
Yeah,
I think Super Noir could run a better race, and Imperious Duke. That's a very consistent horse on the poly. I mean, it cannot be left out.
Yeah, and I think you've tipped it very well. You've read him pretty well, that horse. But I just think now, when he started, when he was off of 59, he got another 5-point penalty last time. He might just be getting a little too high, which is why I prefer, as you say, the 9 in the race and maybe the 1 and the 2. But again, I agree with Nina. Beyond our choices, there may be 1 or 2 to surprise. I even had Clover Club, the bottom weight, a question mark over. She's drawn 1, and she's a daughter of elusive Fort. But I agree with you. Bottom line is we both like the same horse, the 9 horse. Let's move on to race 6. This is a fillies and mares handicap, but it's not a bad fillies and mares handicap. It's an 80. So there are some fair enough horses here. I mean, Nippy Sweetie has won 4 times. Your selection here in race 6 is 6 Mifford 2, who's a horse that we know very well. We've labeled it before and it's delivered for us. Second, you've gone Upper 10. Third, you've gone for 3 Princess of Fire. And then you've gone the 9, which is Reef Knot. So 6, 4, 3, 9 in race 6.
Yeah, Neil, yeah, that's the way I see it. I think that Nippy Sweetie is better over the 1600. I don't quite think she's as effective over 1900 as she is over the 16. So I'm prepared to, I haven't tipped her in my first 4 selections, but again, obviously, it's a horse that, you know, Greep had 5 winners on Friday. Yeah. The stable is hot on form. I mean, you can't leave that combination out if you're going wide in the exotics. I'm looking at number 4, Neil, and I think she's run against some very strong horses behind Santa Therese. She beat Imperious Duke over the course and distance. She ran behind Swazi Queen, Dragon Moon, and last time out over the 1900, she ran behind Meerkat. Not a bad horse. So she's met some very strong horses, and I think she's value at the price. I don't know what price she is, but I'm sure she'll be around about 8, 10 to 1 maybe. That would be a nice horse to include. But yeah, my first choice is Mifford 2. I think back on the Poly. Yeah, but if you like Mifford 2, then you've got to like Princess of Fire.
Absolutely.
If you look at the run.
Yeah.
At the run, 4 runs back, she ran 0.1 behind Mifford 2, giving her 6 kilos. I think she's now with the allowance, she's carrying 58.5, and Mifford 2, she's a couple of kilos, like 3 or 4 kilos better off.
Better off, correct.
0.1 of a length.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, because Princess of Fire that day was drawn 12 out of 12, and now she's got slightly the better draw. She's actually drawn inside Mifford 2. But also, I think the key there is back to Polly. Those runs were all on Fairview turf, and she's clearly shown that she prefers Polly. All 3 of her wins have been on Polly, so I'm with you. I think that could be some value, Princess of Fire. But again, tricky racing, isn't it? I mean, these fillies and mares, you know, we take our numbers, we take our chances, but a surprise is never too far in the offing.
Yeah. Yeah, and besides that, Princess of Fire, like I said, she's like 4 kilos better off for that defeat. Yeah. So she definitely, and like you say, Neil, she's definitely better on the Polly.
Yeah, absolutely. The Polly could be the key there. So take cognizance of that. 6 and 4, 4 and 6, perhaps. Either way round. But we've got 3, 4 and 6 in. Actually, not 4, it's 3, isn't it, that we're talking about? 3. Although you do like Upper 10, but the 3 is Princess of Fire. So 3, 4, and 6 in the last leg of that bipot. And there are the bipot numbers on screen. It's just 81 Rand. It's very affordable because, of course, you've got the 2 Smith bankers, Warren Kennedy, Gavin Smith in the first 2 legs. Okay, let's move on to the last 2 races on the program. And now we step up to a high quality race. It's a fillies and mares handicap, yes, but it's a 98 fillies and mares handicap. And we've got some really nice horses running in this race and very capable. 1, 6, 5, and 8 is the selection for Nino. He's gone for Gin Fizz, who's had 1 start on the Polly and 1. So 1, 6, 5, and 8 for you in race 7.
Yeah, Neil, I'm going with a class horse in the field. You know, obviously, I'm just presuming that Greg Sheen picked the wrong horse. I hope he picked the wrong horse.
Yeah.
I got no idea why he's not riding Gin Fizz. I mean, if you look at the, she's run behind Water of Athena. First time she came to PE on the Polly, she absolutely pulverized La Bellamere. Then she's run behind top sprinters, the Karaoke. What a winner. Iris, third to what a winner. This is by far the strongest form in the race. Obviously, we have to be concerned a little bit to why Greg Sheen chose to ride Delicacy. I have no idea, but I do make that the danger to Gin Fizz.
Well, I'm guessing, I mean, I should actually send Greg a message tonight and ask him. But I mean, I think I know the answer is twofold. One is the weight of 62, but we do know that good horses can carry big weights, but she's got 62 to carry and a draw of 8, whereas Delicacia is carrying only 53.5 and drawn 1. So it might have been a combination of the draw and weight, and he probably thought, well, you know, let me just take my chances there. But I like both, to be honest with you. I like the Greef runners in this race, 1 and 6. I even thought that 4 Mendocini would run a better race for the Greef yard. But you've gone 1, 6, 5, and 8, and you've thrown in Intrepid Traveller, who's got the blinkers on, and that might offer some improvement to Intrepid Traveller, who's got some good poly form.
Yeah, there is a very strong front runner. I just hope that team and Jinfers don't go cutting throats up front. Then we might see something coming from way back. But Delicacy is also very fast. I don't have a problem over the 1,000 meters with the 62 kilos. I believe a horse, a good horse can carry that weight over the 1,000. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, let's move on to the last race. Your overall comments on the last race, and the only reason I'm asking you, because so far, every single one of your numbers I'm pretty much in agreement with, but not in the last, as it turns out. It's probably the only race well, not that I totally disagree with you. I wrote here it's a field race. I don't like the race at all. It's a merit-rated 90 handicap. The Greef runners are the 2 that you've gone for. He's got a lot of runners in this race. He's got... let me see, how many has he got? 1, 2, he's got 5 runners. He's got Tarsus, Oscar Wilde, which you tipped second, Regimental, which is Greg Sheen, and he rides that. He's got Debula, and I think he's got one other. Here's the other one. Yeah, he's got Kingston Rock, which I don't particularly like. But I was a bit worried with this race. But you've gone 4, 3, 1, and 9. So you've gone Greef to run first and second, and Jean Nellen, Richard Ferry for third.
Neil, I agree with you. This is a hard race, but at the end of the day, we had to make a selection.
Yeah.
I've gone with Regimental purely on the fact that he's unbeaten over the poly 1,200 meters. I believe last time Stranger Danger was too fast for him over the 1,000 on the turf. He's coming back to his favorite course, favorite distance. He's got to be a runner. But like you say, if you take Regimental away, then it becomes wide open, because even Debula, she's run against some strong horses, which I haven't even tipped in my first 4. And she could cause a big upset there. Wolfgang won by 7.25 lengths last time he tried the poly 1,200 meters. And I remember that a horse by the name of Blue Duchess was in that race that ran 4th. He beat Intrepid Traveller by 7.25 lengths. Now he's going... Last time out over the 1,000, maybe was too sharp, I don't know. Then Tarsus can even win. It's like you say, this could end up being a field race in the pick 6, because now even Xavier coming down from Joburg, that also won a nice race on the poly in Durban, and I think that could be a lurker. That could be the lurker in the pack there, Neil.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's either Greef or bust. As you say, Regimental, Oscar Wilde. I hear what you say with Wolfgang. You don't win by 7.5 if you don't have some ability. But yeah, Regimental or field after that. Before we close and before I thank you, I want to quickly remind folks, I mean, we started off by saying you did particularly well Friday with your 25-1 outsider, which won Winter Vacation. We said the Ghost Rider did brilliantly on the Gold Cup meeting, and we had some success today with the second jackpot. But if folks want to contact Nico, and it's actually, you can go onto the video, which is still on our Clock in the Gallop website. There's still the opportunity if you're looking for just standalone selections from Nino for tomorrow. I'm sure overnight he'll come up with a value bet or 2, and maybe construct a jackpot or something for us, or a PA. They will be sent to you in the morning. So You've got an opportunity, if you haven't already taken the full package, that we do daily ones, and this will be the last opportunity for some time, because it's the end of the Gold Cup series. So Nino, you can work hard at night, come up with a value bet as well, and a couple of PAs, and if the folks want to contact Nico, they can do so, and they'll have their selections in the morning.
Well, absolutely, Neil. Neil, you're 100% correct, because if you have a look at my tips on Friday, I never even tipped Winter Vacation in my first 4 selections. But then I restudied at night, and I came up with it. And I even found a horse that I told Nico that I like, a horse called Soleil, also a number 16, which I added at the last minute in the jackpot with 7 horses. And I only went out with Momada C, but, you know, I do study and find things. So you're 100% right.
Well, there's always a moving target, and overnight I do the same. I tend to study 2 or 3 times. Sometimes it can backfire. You can overstudy. I mean, I don't know if you know what happened to me when we had Mike Wanklin and Graham Hawkins on the show, and Mike Wanklin said Jet Dark will win. I totally agreed with him. I said, you know, anything that wins the Queen's Plate, and this is the end of the season for those horses coming out of the July, I'm with you. But between doing that video and the race day, because the Snaith form was a bit suspect, I suddenly went off him. So I was pig sick when Jet Dog won, because it shows you, if you change your mind, sometimes it can come and bite your butt. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. But I want to thank you for all your hard work. Well done for Friday, and competitive racing tomorrow, but I think very nice racing. I think the pools will be big, and I think we can see some nice dividends.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, because it's a standalone meeting, first of all, PE, and very competitive. And I think all the exotics are going to pay good money tomorrow, especially the pick 6 and the second and the first jackpot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll leave Nino to go to work on his tipping sheet. If you're interested in his selections, I'm not too sure what Nico's details are he's put out there, but they are on the video, which you'll see, because he's done that video, which was posted for folks who wanted the full weekend selections. And so far, they're rubbing their hands with glee. I must be honest, I know the Ghost Rider tipped that Gold Cup quartet, and well done to him. He ended up making something like 7,000 Rand profit on the bet. I was astonished that it paid 8,000 Rand. So it just shows you can make money.
Absolutely. I was just as surprised as you. The trifecta only paid 200 Rand, and the quartet paid a massive 8,000. But you must remember, there was a big carryover. There was a big quartet carryover there, so the pool was quite big.
Yeah, but even factoring that in, I thought, you know, it probably paid 2.5, 3 grand, the quartet. When I saw it was 8 grand, I just, well done to the Ghost Rider. I hope he caught a few of his own. But Nino, thanks very much for your time. Have a lovely evening, and we'll let you go to work on your tipping sheet again.
Thank you, Neil. Good night. All the best, and hope you get better.
Thank you, Matty. Thanks.